It was finally Halloween and Thomas was so excited. He was riding around his tracks, but he wasn't sure what he wanted to be this year. He had some ideas. He was thinking of becoming Spider-Man, maybe a police officer, but he wasn't sure. There were so many great ideas and he couldn't decide. So finally it came to him. He wanted to become a fireman. He wanted to become a fireman because firemen save lives, and he also wanted to be a hero this year. He was riding around the tracks, very excited. He could not wait for darkness to fall so he can go trick-or-treating. It was the night of Halloween, very different from the rest. Not a star was in sight. Pitch black was the sky. That didn't scare Thomas. He was ready for some treats. The night filled with fog, so spooky and scary. But nothing could stop Thomas now. He waited all year for Halloween. He rode around until he found a small little house. And he was a little afraid because they decorated their home with spooky spider webs and ghosts. So he went ahead and knocked on the door, said trick or treat, and went inside. But to find that there was no candy inside, there were only a bunch of scary spiders. Thomas was a little disappointed, but he didn't give up that easily. He was still going to ride around until he found another home to go trick-or-treat, and he was really sure that this time there's going to be some candy. Thomas finally arrived to the second home. It was also decorated with really scary skeletons, rats, pumpkin jack-o'-lantern, eyeballs, but he was on a mission to find candy. So, being scared, he still went ahead, knocked on the door, said trick or treat, but this time the door opened. He went inside and there was still no candy. There were some dancing broomsticks. He was amazed that the broomsticks were able to dance so magically on their own. But that didn't scare Thomas. He waited all year for Halloween. He decided to go and find the next home, and he was almost sure that this time he will find candy. Thomas arrived to the next home. He went to the door, knocked on it, and said trick or treat. This time the door opened and there was still no candy inside. There were a bunch of skeletons. Now, this really scared Thomas. He was almost sure that this time there won't be any candy anymore. But he still didn't want to give up. He was terrified, he was scared, but he waited all year for Halloween. He was going to go and find candy. Little skeletons weren't going to scare him. Thomas arrived to the next home. It was similar to the others he visited. It was tiny and cozy, but it was decorated with big spiders, big ghosts. But he was already used to these. That didn't scare him anymore. He went to the door, knocked on it, and this time, to his surprise, he found candy. He was so excited. He knew he loved Halloween for a reason, and that was all worth it. Halloween turned out great. Fireman Thomas headed back to his train station and called it a night.